Hi everybody, this is Oniyide, assistant principal at Tyler. And I know the last week we have went through a lot of difficult times and things in our society that might bring up a lot of feelings and a lot of different raw thoughts and emotions. And we definitely understand why some of you might be having a hard time processing all that's going on. And we just want you to know that here at Tyler, that we are going to ensure that we are here to support you in all facets of life. We understand that society doesn't always treat everyone fairly. We understand that there are a lot of injustices happening in the world. We understand that sometimes certain groups, and I'll just call it out, Black people, sometimes have to go through hoops and downs just to be heard. And we want to ensure that at Tyler, we are being inclusive of everyone, that we are taking the time to celebrate all the great gifts and talents that you bring to us each day. And I know that sometimes talking about racism and things that have taken place this week are very hard to talk about. It's not easy to start up that chat or that conversation, but we know it's something that we cannot run from, that we have to have these very courageous conversations with our teachers and with our kids and with our families and with each other if we're going to make a change. And a change starts with us. It starts with each one of us thinking about what can we do differently so that we don't constantly have to endure the hurt and the pain that we are dealing with right now. We see that there's people that are angry and they're looting and they're destroying stuff and setting fires. And I get that they're hurt and I get that they're angry and I get that they're upset. And I know that we often tell you guys to talk it out. That's the way, talk it out. And I've seen people who have been doing it peacefully also being attacked and hurt. And honestly, there's no way I can justify it. There's no way that we can justify it, but we know that we have to do things a different way. Everyone does. This is everyone's problem. This is not just a Black problem. This is a white problem. This is everyone's problem that we all have to come together and figure out. And it starts with us. It starts with our mindset. It starts with seeing people for people and not seeing people based on a certain race. It starts by seeing people for who they are, their strengths, their gifts, their talents, how they treat you. We just have to do better. We have to do better as a school. We have to ensure that we're not sweeping this under the rug, that we're not ignoring it like it doesn't exist. We know that it's going to affect kids. We know that it is affecting kids. We know that it's affecting parents. And we have to ensure that it starts with the teachers here at Tyler. We're going to make sure that we have bold conversations about race and about ways that we perpetuate certain stereotypes and how that impacts our practice. And we have to confront it. We have to call things out. We have to call a thing. We have to confront it. And we have to do better for our kids because they are the future. They are the next generation. And if we're going to see any changes, we have to ensure that we equip them with the knowledge and skills, but more so with the character, just to be better people, to be people that are going to make good choices and just treat people based on their character. We have to ensure that everyone, is aware of how what we do and say impacts somebody else. That has to be at the forefront of what we do. We have to, as teachers, build relationships with our kids. It can't be surface relationships. It has to be deep relationships. We have been talking about being fair or just making sure everyone has resources. We can't talk about equity. That can't be just a buzzword. It can't just be ensuring that kids have Chromebooks. Everyone has a Chromebook and we're being equitable. It's hard work. It's hard work. It's difficult work. It's work that's not for the faint of heart. But if we're going to talk about equity and we're going to talk about making change, we're going to talk about social justice for all, we have to do the work. We have to brainstorm and figure out, how do we engage in this work? How do we make it happen, because tweeting about it, just saying it as we sit together around tables, is not going to get it done. It's not going to get done inside the walls of the school. It might take us going out into the communities and having real conversations. If the parents can't come to us, we're going to go to them. It takes work. And this year we have to start, and Tyler is going to be committed to starting that work and working on ensuring that we break this system, these mindsets, these generalizations about the kids that we teach. We're going to stop assuming, we're going to stop making these assumptions. We are going to reset, we're going to refocus, we're going to re-examine, we're going to get down to the soul of what's important. And we just have to do something. We cannot keep recreating a generation that just is fearful. We can't keep having history repeat itself, and it's repeating itself over and over and over and over again, and it has to stop. And we keep talking about society, and I am society. You are society. This is not someone else's problem. We're not going to keep shifting the blame and say, well, it's happening in that zip code or that zip code or that part of the world. It doesn't affect me. It affects everyone. It affects all of us. If we want a better world for our kids, and we say that, if we want a better world for our kids, we have to re-examine lots of things. We have to re-examine our mindsets, attitudes, our practices, implicit, explicit bias that runs rampant in schools, and we have to confront it. We have to fix it. We have to have zero tolerance. Just like we said that we don't want any bad cops, we can't have any bad people, any bad teachers, educators in the school building. It just can't happen. So we have to have those difficult conversations. And we want you to know that we understand. We are still trying to understand. We are willing to sit and listen. We want to have these conversations. We need to have these conversations if we're going to be the example. It has to start from somewhere. This can't be something that's happening out in the real world. We talk about the real world with kids all the time, but yet we don't want to confront things that are actually happening in the real world in school. We want it to be like this little fantasy world. Did you get your education and you grow up? And no, we have to start having conversations about current events in school. I know that used to happen way back in the day. We have to have conversations about current events. We have to somehow bring these things into the curriculum. We somehow have town hall meetings. We have to confront it. Kids are talking about it, and if you leave kids to talk about it on their own, that's going to be very dangerous. If kids talk about it and have no way to process with people who can sit and listen and give them rational decisions, it's going to be scary. So we have to confront it. We have to stop acting like these conversations aren't happening, because they are, and they're happening in homes, they're happening in our communities, and we have to have them having these conversations with us. Families, we have to have these conversations with each other, because that's how we are going to support our children. You know, at the end of the day, we want everyone to understand that everyone matters. Everyone's life matters. Everyone's life matters. But we do not want a generation of young Black children to feel that they're so, what's the word, indispensable? I don't know if that's the correct word. Their life matters. Their life matters. That's why we come to work and we do what we do, because their life matters. We want them to take the knowledge and skills that we're providing them so they can grow up. They have the freedom to be whatever they want to be. That's what we tell them. That is the hope that we give them, that you can grow up and be whatever you want to be. But that's a false reality if we do not confront the racial injustice that's happening in our society. All of this work that we're doing, all this work that we're putting into our young people will be in vain if we do not confront the racial injustice that's happening in this society. They should have the freedom. They should be confident in knowing that they can grow up and be whatever they want to be, that they can access whatever opportunities that they need to access, and their race and their zip code and their ability and their gender and their family makeup is not going to prevent them from walking through doors that they see their counterparts, their white counterparts, walk through. They have to know that, because if they don't believe us now, they're never going to believe us. So we have to make it happen. We have to confront the injustice that's happening so that it does not constantly repeat itself. To all of the Tyler Tigers, we love you. If you don't hear it from anywhere else, know that you matter to us. And we mean that. You matter to us. Your life matters to us. You all are special. You're talented. You're smart. You have such big and bold personalities that can take you anywhere. You have such potential. And each and every day, we are going to be committed to not just telling you that you matter, but showing you that you matter. And it's going to be done in how we speak to you, in how we greet you, how we look at you, how we teach you. How we address the hurt that you have to come to school every day with. We're not going to just shrug it off. We're not going to just put it under the table. We're not just going to come up with our own conclusion on why that's happening and assume. We're going to stop assuming. Our words are going to match our actions. We're going to step up and we're going to show you that you matter, because you do. You're here for a reason. And we're blessed for you guys to walk through our doors each and every day, for us to sow into your life. And you guys are going to grow up, and you guys are going to be a harvest that's so rich and so big that the world has to get ready for what's coming, because you guys are going to be incredible human beings that are going to do better than what we are showing you right now. You're going to love each other as human beings. And yes, you're going to see race. Yes, you're going to see that there are white people and black people and Asian people and all these other people. But that is not going to matter in the big scheme of things. You're going to like Johnny or you're going to like Joseph because they treat you with respect. And you may not like Tim and you may not like John because they don't treat you with respect. That's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about how people treat you. It's going to be about respect. It's not going to be nothing to do with skin color or anything else outside of content of character. And so, like I said, you matter, and we're going to show you that more. We're going to show you that more in our daily interactions with you, in our conversations. Even if we have to continue doing it virtually, we're going to show you that you matter, that you're more than a test score. You're more than a tearing on a spreadsheet, that you're more than a report card grade, that you are more than an SOL score or CSA. We're going to show you that you matter. You are a person with a story, and you matter.